Ever pondered why the rich get richer while the poor remain stuck in a financial rut? A question that has caused many a sleepless night. Well, one man, Robert Kiyosaki, has sought to answer this in his groundbreaking book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book is not just a read, it's a journey, a crash course into financial literacy and the importance of financial education. Kiyosaki takes us through a tale of two fathers, his own biological father, the poor dad, and his childhood best friend's father, the rich dad. These two men, both influential in his upbringing, had polar opposite views on money, wealth, and investment. The poor dad, a man of academia, held a belief system that championed the traditional path of academic success, secure employment, and reliance on one's employer. He believed that money was a scarce resource, hard to come by and harder still to keep. On the other hand, the rich dad, a successful entrepreneur, saw money through a completely different lens. He perceived money as an abundant resource, a tool that could be leveraged to generate more wealth. His philosophy was simple, yet profound. Do not work for money, make money work for you. But what does this mean? And how does it apply to you? How does one make money work for them? Well, the rich dad believed in financial education, in understanding the principles of money, investment, and the financial markets. He believed in the power of creating assets, rather than accumulating liabilities disguised as assets. This compelling narrative by Kiyosaki illuminates the stark contrast in these philosophies and their effects on one's financial standing. It challenges conventional wisdom and calls for a paradigm shift in our understanding and approach to money and financial freedom. So, what makes the difference between the rich and the poor? Let's dive into the lessons from each chapter. Imagine working not for money, but having money work for you. This is the crux of the first chapter of Robert Kiyosaki's revolutionary book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The core idea here is the emphasis on achieving financial independence. It's not about clocking in those extra hours for an additional paycheck. It's about creating assets that generate money for you, even while you sleep. This chapter serves as a wake-up call for those stuck in the rat race of earning and spending, a never-ending cycle that keeps one tied down. The rich, on the other hand, understand the power of money. They don't let it control them. Instead, they control it. They use it as a tool to create wealth, not as a measure of their worth. It is not about how much you earn, but how you spend and invest your earnings that matters. This is the secret to true wealth and financial freedom. Do you know the difference between an asset and a liability? This is a crucial question Robert Kiyosaki poses in the second chapter of his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Here he underscores the importance of financial education, particularly understanding key financial terms and concepts. Kiyosaki defines an asset as something that puts money into your pocket. This could be anything from a profitable business, investment properties, stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. On the other hand, a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. This typically includes things like your car, your house, or any other debts that you have to pay. The key to wealth, Kiyosaki argues, lies not in your income, but in your ability to acquire assets and avoid liabilities. Understanding these concepts is the cornerstone of financial literacy. Financial literacy begins with understanding the difference between assets that put money in your pocket and liabilities that take money out. Are you minding your own business? This is a question that Robert Kiyosaki poses in the third chapter of his seminal book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. His use of the phrase isn't about not interfering in other people's affairs. It's a challenge to each of us to take control of our financial destiny. Kiyosaki encourages us to start our own businesses, to create assets that generate income, rather than relying on a job to provide a wage. He argues that true financial independence comes from owning assets that make money for us, rather than working for money. This could be real estate, stocks, bonds, or intellectual property. These assets work for us, earning money even while we sleep. Kiyosaki's words are a rallying cry for us to take control, to become the master of our financial destiny, to mind our own business. The key to financial freedom is to build and own assets, not to work for wages. Ever pondered the origins and development of taxes, the influence corporations have, and how the tax system seems to favor a select few? In the fourth chapter of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki delves into these questions and more. The genesis of taxes is rooted in the need for war funding. Kings and leaders needed resources to equip their soldiers and finance their campaigns, thus giving birth to taxation. But as societies evolved, so did the purpose of taxes. They transformed from a means of war funding to an instrument the government used to redistribute wealth and offer public amenities. However, Kiyosaki draws our attention to the fact that the tax system is often unfairly tilted towards corporations and the wealthy, leaving the middle and lower income classes shouldering a heavier burden. He points out that those with resources and knowledge can navigate this system to their advantage, taking advantage of tax loopholes and incentives that may not be accessible to everyone. Now let's shift our focus to corporations. Often seen as faceless entities, their potential and influence are tremendous. Corporations enjoy multiple tax benefits, leading to the possibility of significant wealth accumulation when used judiciously. Kiyosaki stresses the importance of understanding the benefits that corporations offer and using them to one's advantage as a path to financial. The power of corporations extends beyond their potential for wealth creation. They hold the ability to shape economic and political landscapes significantly. Thus, if understood and harnessed correctly, corporations can serve as potent instruments for wealth creation and accumulation. Therefore, it is fair to say, corporations, when understood and utilized appropriately, can indeed be powerful catalysts for wealth creation. Did you know that the rich invent money? This might sound like a riddle, but it's a key concept in Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In the book's 5th chapter, Kiyosaki digs deep into the art of creating and seizing financial opportunities. He doesn't mean that the wealthy literally print their own currency, but rather they have the knack to see and grab opportunities, which in turn generate wealth. Imagine a seed of opportunity. Some people might walk right past it, not recognizing its potential. But those with a keen eye, the rich, as Kiyosaki puts it, see that seed for what it truly is. They plant it, nurture it, and watch as it grows into a mighty money tree. The beauty of this concept is that these seeds are scattered all around us. They can be found in real estate, stocks, businesses, and countless other areas. Opportunities for financial success are all around us. We just need to spot them and grab them. Do you work to earn or work to learn? It's a question that may seem unusual at first, but it's pivotal to our understanding of financial success. Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, places significant emphasis on this concept in his book. He suggests that we often get so wrapped up in the idea of earning that we forget about learning. We chase paychecks instead of chasing knowledge. But what if we flip the script? What if, instead of focusing on how much we can earn, we focus on how much we can learn? By adopting a lifelong learning mindset, we create a foundation for financial success. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about acquiring skills, understanding different industries, and learning how to navigate the financial landscape. In essence, Kiyosaki advises us to use our work as a platform for learning. The paychecks will follow. Remember, the most important investment you can make is in your own education. So, what does it truly mean to be rich? Well, in essence, richness isn't just about the balance in your bank account. It's about financial intelligence, the ability to create assets, the courage to seize opportunities, and the commitment to continuous learning. Let's take a moment to refresh our minds with the key teachings from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Firstly, the rich work for money. It's an intriguing concept, isn't it? The rich have their money work for them. They invest in assets that generate income, even when they're not actively working. This is a fundamental shift from the typical mindset that encourages us to trade our time for money. Secondly, financial education. It's not just about earning and saving, it's about understanding the nuances of money, how it works, and how it can be used to build wealth. It's about being able to distinguish between assets and liabilities, and knowing how to invest wisely. The third lesson is about minding your own business. This doesn't mean ignoring the rest of the world, but rather focusing on creating and nurturing your own financial empire. It's about taking control of your financial future and not relying on an employer to secure it. Next, we delved into the history of taxes and the power of corporations. The rich use these to their advantage. They understand the tax laws and use corporations as shields against them. It's them. It's a game where knowledge is power. We also learned that the rich invent money. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. They take calculated risks and turn ideas into profits. And finally, we cannot forget the principle of working not to earn job. Every experience has something to teach us. The rich understand this and use it to their advantage. Financial freedom is not a dream, it is a well-planned journey. Start yours today. Remember, the path to wealth is not a sprint but a marathon. It requires patience, endurance, and above all, financial intelligence. So equip yourself with the knowledge, take the first step, and keep moving forward. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more content like this. Your support motivates us to create more such informative content. Like, share, and hit the subscribe button for more enlightening videos.